My dude, what's going on?
Not a whole lot. How are you doing?
Where in the world are you currently?
I'm about 20 minutes south of Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, I hate Cleveland,
Yeah.
Ohio.
Well, shit, man.
I'm so sorry. That you know, just Ohio in general. This is a controversial way to start. I'm so sorry, people.
Yeah, you're like, well, first off, fuck
I've
you.
never been closer to being shot than I have in Ohio, and that's a
Okay, well,
terrible, terrible experience for me.
that sounds about right. But
Yeah, checks out.
yeah, like, I don't know if you're like Cleveland or Detroit, that tracks,
Yeah, yeah. It was
or
the
or or
Airbnb was
Baltimore.
staying at was like had a sign in the window next to it that was like we don't call the cops. And then just like a
Oh
picture of a
yeah.
gun. And I was like, oh no. 2 hours later, gunshots out the front of the house, and someone came up and knocking on the door of our Airbnb. It
Oh,
was
dude, yeah,
terrifying. Hated that.
yeah. That's for better or for worse, America in a nutshell is that's a pretty popular sentiment, just
I,
like
you know what? I've
not
never experienced anything like that. I've traveled the States so many times,
yeah.
and that was the only like proper shit experience I've
You
ever
said
had
that
there.
that was it. That was in Cleveland.
That was actually in Columbus.
Okay. Well,
So
that's different. That's different.
it is different. It's
No,
what,
I'm
like
kidding.
an hour
I'm
and a half.
kidding. It's to like outsiders. I mean, Cleveland and Columbus are probably indistinguishable. But
I came down to Cleveland for a basketball game. So I was
oh,
there. I
okay.
did visit town. Yeah, to an outsider, it was fairly indistinguishable. You're right. But
But yeah, I don't know. My thing with Columbus is I like Columbus fine, and I have a lot of friends from Columbus. I've been to Columbus a million times, but my problem is that I don't know. I'm biased towards Cleveland, obviously, but I'd say in terms of the three C's of Ohio, there's Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati. I would say my ranking is Cleveland, then Cincinnati, then Columbus. I don't know. Like
oh,
Columbus is
hot take.
fine. Columbus is fine, but my thing is that like I've been there so many times, and if some and this is partially on me. I'm not gonna pretend like it's not. But like if someone hit me up, they're like, "Hey, I'm in Columbus for the day. Like, what should I do?" I would be like, "I don't know. Like your guess is as good as mine. Like I don't really know. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't have.
Yeah.
I yeah. I don't, it's I I'm definitely biased towards Cleveland, but I don't know. It's not even like a real beef with Columbus,
You've
but
just got your preference.
yeah.
Where were you
Um,
born and raised?
Cleveland.
Okay. So
Yeah, so I was
that's
born in, yeah, that's where the bias comes from, obviously. I was born and raised here. I lived in Nashville for about a year and a half, pretty recently, but then I moved back here.
oh, talk to me about Nashville because I was talking to the dudes in Under Oath about Nashville last
Oh
week
yeah.
or a week before, and they were like, "Yeah, that's like it's popping off. That's the place to be." But predominantly, if you're in the music scene,
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's definitely a whole different ecosystem than Cleveland. I mean, the way that I kind of look at it, it's like if you're someone that's trying to like get into like being a professional songwriter and you really want to get into like the sessions songwriting sessions and grind it out in that circuit, you either need to be in Nashville or LA really.
yeah,
But I think it's a great musical ecosystem. But I mean that's like for me personally it's like I don't know, that's like I enjoy writing with people like in that capacity, but I have come to find that it's kind of like unless if you're like super well connected, like it's like you either are like a session musician or a session songwriter
yeah,
or you go on tour. It's like you kind of making the two work for yourself is like kind of hard.
yeah. Okay.
Um but I mean, it's great for that. Uh for me, I like if I had to pick one or the other, obviously I would like to tour. Like going on tour is awesome, and I love being in the studio, but like and but I love working on like on our stuff. You know what I mean? I love
Sure.
being in the studio, but like getting back out on the road and being able to share it with the world is where it's at. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nashville's great. really moving to there and moving back to Cleveland, it wasn't it like each time it didn't come from a it's not like when I moved to Nashville, I was like, I need to get out of Cleveland. Like I hate it. It was just like the opportunity kind of presented itself. I have some friends that live down there that, wanted me to move down. I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll try it out. And was down there for a bit. And then, and then moving back to Cleveland, it wasn't like I was again not like dying to get out of Nashville, but I was just kind of going with the flow of my life where I was at that point,
Yeah,
and
okay.
just brought me to and from, and now I'm back here. And but
Where
yeah,
is the rest of the band?
the rest of the band's in Cleveland.
Okay.
Um,
How difficult was that when you were there and they were here? Yeah,
so
similar.
it wasn't very difficult because truth be told, like we when it comes to like going on tour and rehearsing and stuff, like we mainly just like even when I was in Cleveland, we would kind of cram for rehearsing for a tour like right before. And it's not like we were like I mean we have before, but it's not like more recently we haven't been like practicing weekly
Sure.
necessarily. So while I was in Nashville, it was fine because like when we did go on tour, I would just come up and uh, just get ready for the tour. That way, I would just come up a little bit earlier. But we, as a band, we also run our own screen printing shop, and we handle
I've
all of our
seen
own
in the new
merch.
video.
Yeah, yeah. So we do that, and that I mean, me being down in Nashville, I was unable to uh contribute and be a part of that. So that was another thing coming back. I was like, I like, it's kind of at that moment where we're growing it, and like, if I continue to stay in Nashville, it would have to be like okay, this is like I'm not involved in this like at all anymore because like we would still talk about stuff, but I wasn't
Yeah.
like really able to do anything about it. So me moving back to Cleveland, there was a big part of it that was like, okay, I want to like be involved with the day to day of the shop and be able to be able to help out and run a business together. And
Yeah.
so that was definitely something that I wasn't able to do while I was in Nashville, and I am glad to be able to like be more involved with that now.
Yeah. So I would like to talk about that because obviously that's features in Jora the Pale Horse, the
Yeah.
newest single. What was the start point? How did that come about? What made you want to start a print shop?
So really, it all kind of starts with our drummer Adam because I mean he's worked in print shops for so long. I mean I don't know exactly how old he was when he worked at the first print shop that he worked at, but I mean he's been doing it for like well over a decade. And he started out in a very big shop, just kind of doing some of the more menial tasks, and then eventually was at a different shop and learned how to print on a manual press and do it himself and everything. Because the other spot it was all like automatic presses and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
But he got more in touch with that, and then eventually, while we were in the early days of our band, we did for a while work with a merch company that was handling all of our merch needs and online fulfillment, shipping out our web store orders and stuff, which like in the early days there was not much of that, so it wasn't it's not like we were moving a ton of merch necessarily.
Yeah.
But we, even as like a much smaller band, this company was like messing up orders and stuff, and it was just kind of like unnecessarily convoluted. We're
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
this, we wanted to try it out because we're like, okay, what if this is a good experience and we like doing it this way? And we just kind of quickly found out we're like, yeah, we don't really like it this way. Like, don't like doing it this way. Seems like we're just kind of pissing away money for no reason.
Yeah.
And we're like, plus our drummer is very experienced with this, knows what he's doing, he can do it. And at that point, he had started a shop with someone that we know in town that was also in a similar position looking to start his own thing. So they partnered up for a bit, and they successfully ran that for a number of years. And then eventually, kind of had a checkpoint. They're like, okay, we kind of want to go in different directions of what we're doing. So they split up. And then at that juncture is when we like had really kind of schemed to like do our own thing and have our own shop that is just me, Adam, and Ty.
Yeah, okay.
And finding ways to all kind of figure out what our niche is and what the thing is that we bring to the table and do well. And but yeah, since then, it's now just us, and it's it's been quite the journey, because like getting it to a point now where we are in a space where we actually, one of our friends, he has his own operation, um, but it's just him, and then we have ours, and it's the three of us. We share a space together, because like the space we were in before was serving us fine, but then our friend, he had lived in Cleveland originally and then moved out to Arizona, but now he's back in Cleveland. And he was talking about wanting to get back into the space that we're in, because it's just like a big industrial building. And we were talking about, moving into a bigger space, but splitting that. And now we're in the same space doing the same type of work, but we both have our own client base.
Yeah, okay.
So it's nice because we're able to help him out with um, certain things. It's a very mutually beneficial arrangement right now where it's like we both have our own distinct businesses, but we're both able to help each other out when we need to. Um, so like now for us, the main challenge has been kind of getting our situation to a point where when we go on tour, things don't have to come to a screeching halt. And
Yeah, okay.
we want to still be able to get work done, when we're not there. And our buddy Andy being in our space with us and being down to like, kind of lean back to back against each other, so to speak, is definitely a step in the right direction of
Yeah,
kind
it's a
of
cool
being able to get
arrangement.
to that. Yeah, definitely. So it's
Have
pretty optimal, honestly.
have you found any issues in like running a band together, which is its own business, and then running the print side of things? Is there any like ego that gets involved? Is there any clashing of ideas? How cohesive is it?
So in a sense, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it's like a clashing of egos. It's just like we're already, me, Adam, and Ty are already so intimately involved, doing the band together, and then it's like, okay, now we're gonna have like a whole other
Yeah.
side business that is like its own thing in addition to that, and it's just like, okay, if this wasn't already involved enough being in a band together. I mean, fortunately for us, we have great chemistry, and like we have great communication too, and we're able to, like, it's even at times when it gets tense or if we argue about things, it's never like that heated or deep, and
Yeah, okay.
we're able to hash things out productively. um I don't I am I can confidently say that like none of us are too stubborn, to where, if we have a disagreement, like things come to, again, like nothing comes to a screeching halt. It's like we're able to be like, uh able to, hash things out like adults. But I mean, that being said, it's like, yeah, I mean, we see each other every day, and it's like it is a lot sometimes. But I mean, I love the guys, so it's like they're my best friends. I
Yeah,
mean,
okay, cool. You don't finish tour and be
yeah,
like, "Fuck, done with that for a while," and then you see them the next day at work.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like if there's and that's the thing is like sometimes with the band, it'll be like that isn't just confined to like when we're at work. I mean, it's like sometimes we things come up with the band that are like we hear about something after hours and we're all talking about it, and then it's seemingly the conversation, whether it's band or business, like print shop stuff, it's like this ongoing big conversation that's happening at all times, whether it's in relation to one or the other. So it's like sometimes sometimes feels a bit much because it's just like so much all at once, especially when you're rolling out a new record and you're getting
Yeah.
ready to tour Australia for the first time, and then you're going to England, and then you're touring the US, and you're trying to balance this all and trying to grow a business at the same time. It's like it can be a lot, but I
Hell yeah.
mean, at the same time, I always think back to, like 10 years ago, like I don't, even being like a teenager and stuff. It's like I think about what we're doing now, and I think about what I thought when I was much younger, and like this really is the dream. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, hell
to
yeah.
me, it's like we are doing it exactly the way that we want to be doing it, and we're doing it on our terms, and that is like such a blessing.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool position, but you've obviously worked for it. You've made the right decisions along the way, and you guys obviously have a really good foundation of friendship behind everything to be able to grow it organically in terms of
Yeah,
like the following and the passion of the band, but also into like the business side of things.
yeah.
Now you touched on touring Australia for the first time, which is very exciting.
Oh
I
yeah.
actually had the pleasure of seeing you though in England a few years ago. I got to come along and watch you play in London with State Champs and my friends
Okay.
in Between You and Me.
Yes.
Um,
Okay. Sweet.
so I saw you there. That was my introduction to you. And hot damn, the people of Australia are in for a good time. You guys put on a hell of a
Yeah.
show.
Oh, dude, thank you. That whole tour, like again with that, like that one kind of came together quickly. Because we got the offer while we were on a tour
Yeah.
before
Okay.
it, and it came together very quickly. But like it was one of those things where we're like, okay, we gotta do this because like we had been trying to get over to the UK and mainland Europe for quite some time before, and it was like we had a couple opportunities that I didn't pan out or didn't really make all that much sense for us. So that was the first time we were like, okay, you know what, we got to do this because if we don't, who knows? It was also like kind of distinctly like a post COVID like returning to touring thing. We're like, we got to get over here because who knows what can happen. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for
Like,
sure.
who knows when the next opportunity will come, and we don't want to like regret it. So that whole tour was a lot of fun, very eye opening. And but that's awesome that you saw us on that. Those London, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think we did two London shows on that.
Potentially. I landed from Australia, which is a hell of a flight.
Oh yeah,
Was incredibly jet lagged, and I
yeah.
came along that night and watched. And my mate who I was with fell asleep while I came and watched you guys. And
Okay,
I left like halfway through State Champs because my eyes were falling out of my head.
yeah,
But so I only got to see the one show, but heck, it was. I'm so glad I made the effort because one
yeah,
good introduction to you, support my friends. It was a good night.
yeah. Absolutely.
What
I'm glad you're able to catch us. That was a very very like green time for us, just being in a new country for the first time, and I can't wait for Australia.
You've also got a lot of music that's come out since then, which is exciting
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you guys have
Truthfully, yeah. I
crushed. Like
mean,
the last album, I loved. I thought you guys did such a good job of, and then
oh,
we've
thank you.
got some brand new music dropping all the time currently, which is
Yeah.
really exciting. How hard is it getting to sort of set something like a first time show, picking the set list for that to go, cool.
Oh,
What
dude.
does Australia want versus what does the UK want? That type of thing.
So I'm not even kidding. Like I was just talking about this like before this interview and everything. I was talking to a friend about this because it really depends on for us, like it really just kind of boils down to how long is our set. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
if we're supporting and we have 30 minutes or 40 minutes, then like it's getting really hard because this is our fourth album now, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is gonna suck because like we want to play, we want to play as much as we can off the new album, but then it's like we gotta like
You got to throw in the
include
bangers.
yeah, exactly, we gotta play the hits. So I mean it's getting really hard. I mean, even thinking ahead to like the US tour that we have after Australia and England, it's like we're coming back here and headlining, and like even then I'm like, man, it's getting tough because like
Yeah.
we played a hometown show um this past December, and we played for an hour and a half, and like that was it felt like a marathon, dude. Like
Yeah.
we played like it was like 25 songs or something like that, and like I could not do that night after night. Like that is just a
You
bit
literally need to
much.
train for that.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it would. I don't know if I could do that every night. And I also think I don't know. Like there are certain bands that like I would gladly watch for an hour and a half or more, but like I like it's a long time, you know. So I'm like gearing up for something, whether it's something where we're headlining. It's like it's still hard
Yeah.
because we just have a lot of music now. We got 4 albums in, so it's like I think this is going to be the point where you know there's going to be fans of ours that are not happy no matter what. Unfortunately, it's like, where's this song? Where's that song?
Yeah, you know
And you
what?
know,
Obviously, we talked to a lot of artists on here that because Australia is such a far trip for bands to come to, and they don't get to come here as often. I think Australian audiences are pretty understanding though of like, hey, like for you guys, 4 albums under your belt and coming here for the first time, there's
mhm.
definitely gonna be stuff you miss, and so they understand. Well, we just got to take what we can get. I
Yeah,
think as long as you can see the joy coming from the stage, if you guys are having fun with the set list, that's what translates. People can like really feel the energy of a band that wants to be playing the stuff. There's nothing
absolutely.
worse than watching an hour and a half set of someone that halfway through is playing the 6 songs they played a
Oh,
thousand times. They just don't care anymore.
yeah, and people like that's the thing is like fans pick up on that. You know what I mean? And it's
100%.
like people aren't stupid. They can tell when someone's like phoning it in or if it's like not if they're not enjoying themselves. It's
Yeah.
like so yeah, I mean really I I don't know. It's gonna be hard to put set lists together whether we're supporting or headlining. I feel like it's just at that point where it's just getting harder and harder with
Yeah.
the more music we release. But I mean, no matter what, you know, we're gonna bring it and we're gonna I don't know, like have the best time we can doing it. And
Heck yeah.
I mean, we've all talked about it. Because I mean, like really, it's like going on tour as much as we do and like doing all of this it's very exhausting, you know what I mean, and a lot of times you kind of you can get sidetracked and distracted and like lose sight of like how it felt to you like when you're much younger, like when you're a kid, when you're like thinking about like what your dreams are and everything. It's kind of easy to forget that sometimes.
Yeah.
But you know, touring as much as we do, it's easy to get fatigued. But like I don't know. If it's at the end of the day for all of us, it's still fun, and that's like that is a win. Because like we've talked about, we're like if this wasn't fun, we wouldn't do it because it's not an easy life. You know what I mean?
No, no.
It's very physically demanding, uh, and like mentally demanding too. You know, it's just very demanding overall. So if this wasn't fun, we wouldn't be doing it because it
It's too much
frankly
effort.
it sucks sometimes, but
Yeah.
it's also the best thing ever, and it's the dream, you know what I mean? So it's like it's still very fun for us, and I feel so lucky that you know I can confidently say that it is still fun and still
Yeah, I like
very
that.
fulfilling.
There are very few jobs in the world that you can be like loving and hating at the same time. So
Yeah, like talking about this, I'm like, you know, we got the band and we got the print shop as well, but like I don't feel like I have a real job, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
even though got plenty going on. And I mean, by all terms and definitions, it's like, yeah, I mean, I actually have 2 jobs, but
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like it. I'm like, so I don't know.
It's a good way to be.
Yeah, it's I feel lucky, and
What
it
it says, if
helps
you do what you
keep it
love, you'll
enjoyable.
never work a day in your life. That's what they
Exactly.
say. I
Yeah.
think there's some truth in that. Like you can work, but it doesn't have to feel
Yeah.
like a job.
I do definitely believe that, and I hope that I never work again.
Fingers crossed. Now, talk to me about the. I want to go back to the set listing. What's a song for you that it's an older song that still like every time you play it, you're like, fuck yeah, this is sick. People are vibing on this. What's like a
Okay, you know
song for you
what?
that always ticks the box?
This is like a little bit this answer has a little bit of like a couple layers to it.
Like an onion.
But yeah, exactly, like Shrek.
I've seen Shrek. I
Um,
know.
yeah. So I would say Fake Blood.
Okay.
But that being said, there was a period of time where I was like pretty sick of playing it because like
Yeah.
the thing is the reason being is that when we sound check, we like to it's like the perfect sound check song for us because it has the highs and the lows. It like everyone's playing, but there are parts where like not everyone's playing everything. It's like there's depth to it, and there's a dynamic that is pretty optimal for a sound check. And there's also like, harmonies and everything, so everyone's able to like, if we have to pick one song to sound check with, that one's a very good one to do, because it kind of, we're able to check all the boxes of what we need.
Sure.
So there was a time where, we would be sound checking with that song every day, and we would play it, and then we would also play it in the
Yeah,
set.
yeah.
And it's like,
Two a
okay,
day. It's easy to burn
exactly.
out.
So it was, for a while, I was like, okay, man, do we like, it felt like muscle memory. And I was like, there was a time where I was like a little bit, not necessarily sick of it, but like a little bit fatigued.
Sure.
I'm like, so, and I mean, especially for Adam on drums, that song's very straightforward. I mean, he could play that in his sleep. So there was a time where, I think we're probably all a bit fatigued on the song. But that being said, that also kind of feeds into the answer of that, like, even though we've played it so many times, I still love that song, and I think it's one of my favorite songs as far as, and like, when we do play it live, it still hits. It's, I don't know, and
Yeah, cool.
yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just, there's something about it. It's a special song for me. I mean,
And the
they're all
flip side of
special, but
that,
like,
what of the new stuff are you most excited to play?
okay, off the new stuff, I'd say, like, I mean, my personal favorite song on the album. It's 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 been really tricky with like gearing up for this album, because when we were having the sort of preliminary discussions of like, okay, what are the singles going to be?
Yeah.
That was really hard, because there wasn't like I mean, we kind of, in talking about it, we're like, there really isn't any like right or wrong answers, because any of the songs on it, we are like, this could be a single and we'd be happy with it.
Cool.
Um, but that being said, my personal favorite song is not one of the singles. It's track 4, "Lay Down and Die." That one, I just feel very. It's very personal, very sentimental, and that one's my personal favorite. But so I'm really excited to, get try playing that one live. But also one that I think could be really fun live is track 6 or 7, I think it is. "Can't Slow Down." It's it's our fastest song yet. So I don't know. There's something about just how fast it is. I'm like, I feel like this one will be really fun live, and people
Cool.
just go off. So
Hell yeah.
probably that. I'd say "Can't Slow Down."
Oh, dude. Well, look, we're so pumped to have you out here. As I said, Johnny, who can't be here today, he's currently at work. I introduced you guys to him a while back, and we've
Yeah.
jumped on any opportunity to check out your music we can, because I think you're in such an interesting space of this like punk, alt rock. You can hear so many influences throughout it, but you still have like a real unique place, which I think means you can play with so many other bands. I'm
Yeah,
excited for him to finally see you live.
yeah, I really appreciate that, because I mean, I sometimes it's like we do feel that we're kind of like in between a few different things. Like, it's not exactly the easiest of tasks to kind of like put us in a box, I guess. And like,
Yeah.
and when it comes to like touring and stuff, it's sometimes a bit more challenging to think about like, okay, where exactly do we stand? And
Yeah.
like, being in between a few different things, it presents its own challenges sometimes, but also it presents its own sort of unique benefits.
Opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah, and opportunities, in that you aren't just in one place. So it's like, yeah, you have that freedom to like, maybe venture out a little bit more than you would be if you were kind of firmly in one box. But yeah, I mean, that all kind of stems from pulling from so many different influences, because like, we, above all else, are just huge nerds for music. I mean, we
Dude,
love, like, just
preaching to the
listen to
choir.
so much music. Yeah, it's like just nonstop. Like, I'm always looking for new stuff, always like uh finding new bands that I love, whether it's new current bands or like old bands that I just haven't heard before. It's like we are
Yeah, okay.
always listening to so much music. I mean, when we were recording this album, we would end every single day of recording in the control room, where there's like this insane speaker system. we would end, it was like it became a ritual for us where every single night at the end of the night we would each go around in a circle, and it was me, Adam Ty, and then Brett, who engineered and produced the album. We would all go in a circle and pick a song to play on these super nice speakers,
Oh,
and we would always do at least one. Normally we'd do like two or three each, but like we would just sit for like, an hour, sometimes multiple hours, just like vibing out, listening to music and
I love
introducing
that.
each other to new stuff. So I mean, like it's above all, I mean, we are a band, we are musicians, but even more than that, we
Just
are
fans of music.
fans of music, and
All right,
and
let's leave
it's
it
just a
then
genuine love. Yeah.
with one request from you, and it's a hard one.
Okay.
Give everyone here one song you want them to go listen to right now.
Of ours or
No, no, definitely not
oh,
yours. Any artist, just a song that you like. Go check this out right now.
okay, you know what? I'm gonna I got that is a hard question, but fortunately I have an answer because well, it's a song that's really stuck with me, and I always come back to it. It's a source of inspiration that I haven't like quite achieved what I've wanted to out of sort of I guess taking inspiration from this song and what I want
Yeah.
to incorporate from it. But like there's this song called Horror Head by a band called Curve,
Okay.
that I love. They're an English band in the 90s, and unfortunately Horror Head is not on Spotify. I don't think
Okay,
it's
you're
on
giving us a
Apple Music to my knowledge.
challenge.
It's a little bit of a deep cut, but I mean, it's on YouTube. But man, that song, like the bass line of it, is so damn cool. And it's
Sick.
just like that's the thing, is like I find myself, the challenge for me is like kind of trying to like write a bass line that kind of, that it doesn't groove exactly the same way, but something that kind of like evokes a similar feeling. And it's just it blows my mind.
Cool. All right,
That
that's
that
it.
song, yeah, Horror Head by Curve.
I love it. Well, Eric, dude, as I said, pumped to have you out here. It's coming around real soon, so
Absolutely. Yeah, no, we're so excited.
safe flight, and I'll see you at the shows.
Sounds good, dude.
Legend. Thanks, brother.